Hi, JJ here from 22 Explosive Hits, coming at you with a haul that I just had yesterday. I had the great opportunity to be able to go to a record show yesterday with Slambo from his Slambo's Cart Train of Idiots, his channel. We always have a vinyl community meetup. We were able to go to a record show that was down by the airport. Used to be at Serb Hall like 20 years ago was the last time I was there, and I don't ever remember there being that much vinyl at it because vinyl hadn't made its resurgence yet. It used to be the place where I used to get all my live recordings or bootlegs. They had a lot of those there yesterday on DVD as well that I noticed when I was roaming around. Unfortunately I got so into looking I didn't take any video. I should have what I remembered, but I do have the haul. I'll show that off in a minute. They had a lot of DVDs, but the only funny part was most of them who had any DVD I was even near interested in for like a live recording of a band one didn't have any ability for me to test it to make sure it was correct. So I was like, well, I'm not buying it. And he's like, oh yeah, some of those could be cell phone cameras, and I'm like, I'm not buying it. Paying $20-30 for a cell phone cam. I mean, if it's off the feed, that's one thing, like the Grateful Dead releases. But I wasn't interested in that. But did manage to find a couple finds that and I kind of thought it was really cool because I think a lot of these I would have had to go on Discogs to get, and it would have probably cost me a ton in shipping. So I was able to save a lot in shipping. It was pretty reasonably priced to get in. It was only $3. So here's what I found. I found some of I have to censor it a bit, but I found these Rudy Ray Moore albums. If anybody knows who Rudy Ray Moore is, that is Dolomite. Dolomite is in the new Eddie Murphy movie My Name is Dolomite, and these are the records that he sold like out of the back of his car and record stores on his own, and then ended up getting them into the top 40 eventually. But these are the records that he actually sold. I have a white sheet over the cover because they're quite racy, and I really don't want to show that on my channel. But I did want to show off the records that I got. The first one I got is Eat Out More Often. Um, right here's this one. And the next one I got was the second Rudy Ray Moore album. And this one has a bunch of his stories on there. And this one is another one that has on here, warning, rated X, the Comedian Enterprise, Comedian series, and how it was produced by him. There's another one of the set that I got. And the new Rudy Ray Moore, and what's really cool is you can see the 598 sticker up here and everything that was on the record itself, the stamp for this one. This also has the guest starring of Lady Reed. She was a major character in the movie. If you saw it on Netflix that was out there, she was the one that did like the singing with him and everything, and he kind of took under his wing as part of his people, and she's actually in the Dolomite movie. So I was very excited to get this. This would have been something that I probably would have had to like, search on Discogs or something for, but I happened to find a vendor who had them and he was willing to wheel and deal them. So I liked it. Next one I got was for a cheap one here. This is Dancing on the Ceiling with Lionel Richie. I have his other two solo albums, so I wanted to complete the collection. I did see this with my mom live in I think it was '86. We saw it, and Sheila E. opened for him, so they actually did the. There's a song in here called was it Ballad Selah? It's called Selah, and they did that one together. Actually, him and Sheila E. At that concert, I actually got to see Sheila E. in the video game room at the Hyatt across the street. And I remember this tour well too because they actually had people that were dancing on the ceiling and like dangling up from the top of the Milwaukee Arena. It was pretty cool. Next one I got is a comedy record from Billy Crystal. This has all his famous characters on here. Sammy Davis Jr. This also has on here Fernando, all his his goofy characters that he did. It has his stand up on here as well as like a song called "You Look Marvelous," and this one was a radio release. I got this one for $1. It was a really good find, I thought. I also got Clarence Clemens' solo album from the E Street Band. Has his hit on here, "You're a Friend of Mine," that he did with Jackson Brown and Daryl Hannah's in the music video, if people recall. Another bargain bin find that I thought was really good quality. And what I liked about the record show, on a side note, is that they actually most of the bargain bin stuff looks like they went through stuff before they put it out. It wasn't just all junk. I mean, one thing I did hear Matthew say once before that I kind of now been going by is that if the cover's good, usually the vinyl is good, and I found that to be the case in most of these cases as well. The vinyl was really good, so the cover's good. Next one's more a record to go down nostalgia lane. I got this one. It says two, but I actually talked him down to a buck. It's sealed. I'm not sure how good it is. I'll find out when I open it. But this is Al B. Sher's record. I think I talked about this before on the channel. There's an episode of Yo MTV Raps where he was the musical host and I'm dancing on it. Anybody ever finds that on YouTube, I'd love to know about it because I know I'm the only white guy dancing in the video. But also his song Night and Day was the theme song for me and this other girl's radio show at WLIU. When you were a freshman, they had you paired up with a senior in order to do your radio show, and she chose that she wanted to do slow jams, and so that's what was our show, and those are the types of music that we put out there was. Next one I have is another one from my heyday, another hip hop record. This is Joski's Love. I do have this on a mixed compilation as well, but this is a 12-inch single. Joski's Love, Pee Wee Dance was one that got the dance floor hopping every time when I was about 12, 13 years old. Everybody knew how to do the Pee Wee Herman. It was one of those fun dances that you didn't need a partner to do. You just got out there on the dance floor and started doing the Pee Wee Herman. It was a lot of fun. So when I saw this one out there for just a buck, I was like, I have to have it. It's a 12-inch single, has on here the rap, acapella beat, and the instrumental on here as well. But Joski's Love, I think this was their only hit they ever had. Next one, I had a guy that was willing. He said he had these Billy Joel pressings, Japanese pressings, sitting in his collection for a while. So when I was like really eyeing them up, he said, "I'm willing to make you a deal on them," and I got a really good deal on these. So that's why I'm happy to get them, because a lot of the Billy Joel reissues are really hard to find, and a lot of the stuff I'm finding for older records of his, I'm not finding them very clean. I'm finding them very like kind of beat up. At least in my experience, I know there's probably like 10 others of you in the vinyl community to be like, yeah, I saw him at this record store, but I have not seen him. So the first one I got is Songs in the Attic, Japanese pressing of this one. It's on the back here as well. There's the record. This is a great compilation of different live tracks. He does live even in the club where he does Everybody Loves You Now. Also has Say Goodbye to Hollywood. A lot of his great tunes done live, and he put it on this compilation called Songs in the Attic. Probably probably one of my top. If I had to rank my Billy Joel records, this would be up there. So it's a must-have for my collection. I also found the rare one that's hard to find in a Japanese pressing, and this thing is mint, and the price was just right. Was Billy Joel's greatest hits. This is his greatest hits in like 180 gram. Plus, also it has on there the two extra cuts of While the Night is Still Young and You're Only Human. So I was really excited. This was a really good find, and he, like I said, this guy says he gets a guy that just like he works at an Air Force base or something in Japan, and then he has him buy these for him, and he puts them in a suitcase in his army bag as much as he can put like in his duffel, and brings these back for him. But these are some stuff that's just been sitting in his collection that he wanted. The ones he had out at the record show, basically, the ones that he wanted to get rid of out of his collection. He kind of didn't want to bring them home, so I was able to get a good deal on this one. Next one is Cold Spring Harbor. This is the first one. Usually us fans are the ones that have this one. A lot of fans don't. This one has Everybody Loves You Now on it, which anybody knows the story behind this one. Billy Joel, when he first recorded it, actually it was recorded at kind of an odd speed, so it kind of sometimes sounds a little chipmunkish if you listen to it close enough. And the remastering it, they've never really done a great job in any like CD version or anything. But again, being a purist and wanting to have the Billy Joel collection, this was an important one, and this was again a Japanese press as well for this record. Another one I've been after as well for a while is America's Greatest Hits. I love America. I love Sister Golden Hair. Their folk mixes are amazing. I love their stuff, and I really wanted to have this Greatest Hits record. But on Discogs, I was just finding out they're like, oh, these really elite pressings or these really ones that are beat up. So I was really happy that I didn't get this at the record store. I stopped at a record store that was down the road from the record store, and they happened to have this for $5. So it was a really good find. The vinyl's really clean. Again, going by Mazzy's rule, the cover is really good. So usually the vinyl inside is really good. And this one has all their hits, Horse with No Name, I Need You, Sandman, yada, yada, yada. But I've wanted this one to be able to listen to when I'm just doing my work or whatever, and I'm happy to have it. And a couple more new vinyl that I picked up yesterday was Rattle and Hum by U2, 180 gram. They had this one out there at the record store that was actually down the street from the record show. So this is a really good record. My favorite tune on here is probably All I Want Is You. I love the live version of Pride in the Name of Love. Desire is really good, and I like All Along the Watchtower that they do on this, their version of All Along the Watchtower. And God Part 2 is pretty good too. But this is a really good vinyl to have as part of my collection. I did get a beeline, and one of my buddies looks like he's going to get me a U2 Joshua Tree, so I'm excited about that one as well. I do have their two greatest hits. And then I got some Talking Heads. I got the Talking Heads one. This one is the one with burning down the house on it. Girlfriend is better, and this must be the place. Melody, this is the Rhino 2021 reissue. I got a copy of this one, and I got a copy of this one as well, which has Once in a Lifetime on it, which is another one of my favorite Talking Head songs. Side note, the Talking Heads, I believe he's like the guitarist or whatever, or the piano player. He's from Milwaukee, actually. He's from my local town here, so he's kind of a local guy when he comes to town here in Milwaukee. So yes, that's what I found. I had a really good time with Slambo. We had breakfast, and it was kind of a really fun day to get to know somebody else from the violent community and reach out. I hope I have more meetups with other ones in the future, because I know some of you are in Chicago, which isn't that far away from Milwaukee at all. Just a stone throw away pretty much. So that's what I found for my record show haul. So I just want to remind the violent community, let's bring each other up rather than bring each other down. Have a great day.